Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. You know, we like to grow things in our garden, but sometimes we just don't know what to do with it once we get the finished product. So this is a kabocha squash. It's a winter squash, and there's a lot of great winter squashes that you can grow. I love to grow East Elite, Celebration, butternut squash, different kinds of acorn squash, which Celebration is, and they're all lovely, but you need to know what to do with them. One of the best things you can do with them is just cut them open, dice them up, sprinkle with olive oil and pepper and salt, and just roast them in like a 400-degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe give them a shake halfway through until they get a little bit of browning on them. Roasting vegetables, you can never go wrong roasting a vegetable, I don't think. But I'm going to show you a couple of other things that you can do. I just have this one kabocha that I picked today. I'm going to show you two different recipes that you can do with it. One's very similar to just your basic roasting, but we're going to kick it up a notch. And one is a stuffing. So the first thing you need to do is get into your kabocha. So I'm going to cut off the stem. And the blossom end, just to make it a little easier to work with. The kabocha has a very thin skin on it, even though this is a ripe one. When your winter squash is ripe, you can't easily dent it with your fingernail, but you can actually eat the skin out of this. Now I'm gonna also put just a little slice out of one side, and that'll be for our stuffing side. And then I'm just gonna cut it right down the middle. And then inside you'll have the glorious seeds, so we'll pop those out, just easy to do with a spoon. Oh, this smells good already. I love the smell of squash. So some squash are a little more difficult to cut through, so if you need to, you could just microwave it for a couple of minutes, just to kind of soften up the skin. And some, like the butternut squash, you can cook it with the skin on, but then you don't really, well, I don't really want to eat the skin. It's a little tough. So you just have to kind of know your squash a little bit. But acorn squash is one of my favorite ways to do the second method that I'm going to show you here. And it also, any of the squash are really good for stuffing. You get that nice hollowed out center, and then you can just fill it with yummy things and cook it. All right, so this is our flat one. So I'm just gonna grab the seeds, these little pieces I cut off, and just put them in my compost. We don't need them. Now you could save the seeds, rinse them off, and use them for next year's crop, but I grow these very close to other squash, so they may have mixed together their pollen, and you might get Franken squash. Okay, so we'll just set that one over there. And now we have this, so just a nice little vessel to hold some delicious things. So we're gonna take our bowl, and I have some black beans, and I have to keep in mind the size that you need. So I won't need all this. I just cooked these. These were dried black beans. I took a 1/4 cup of black beans and just made sure they had at least a few inches of water over them in my slow cooker, put them on high for a couple of hours. And now they're nice and soft. You can squish them down easily. They'll be good for in there. So I think that might be a little more than we need. I have some diced up bell pepper. So this is just a green and an orange bell pepper out of my garden. I just diced into nice sizes. A diced up yellow squash, so a nice summer squash there, and I just, again, out of my garden, diced it up. And then, again, out of my garden, I have a little bit of onion, so you see some diced onion in the bottom, and some herbs. I just threw some oregano and thyme that I just kind of chopped up roughly, and that's just gonna go in here as well. Now, this is probably gonna be more than I need, but it's just me for supper tonight, so I'm just going to stuff one. So there's the filling there, lovely. So then I just want to give it a little drizzle with olive oil, and I like to just rub the cooking vessel squash with some olive oil as well. So I'm just going to kind of rub it around on the edges. I don't know that it really makes a difference, but it's how I like to do it. So there. And then I'm just gonna take, I don't know, half a teaspoon of salt. Again, I'll sprinkle some right on the squash. And the rest will go in there. A little pepper. Really simple, nice mixture there. And then we just need to stick it in our squash. Now, like I said, I probably have way more than I need here. Yeah, that was enough for 2 halves. This would also make a lovely salad though, or cook up a little bit of rice, mix with that. A nice little meatless Monday dish right there. Let's save this for another day, and we'll get a baking pan so we can cook this squash. So now I have my oven preheated to 350. I've just set my squash on there, and I'm gonna bake it in my oven for about an hour. I'll check it after about 40 minutes, just poke it to see if it pierces easily the actual squash with a fork. If it does, it's done. If not, it'll get the extra 20 minutes. Sometimes it takes a little longer, just kind of depends on the squash and the thickness of its walls. So 350 for 40 minutes to an hour. When that's done, if you want a little more flavor, you could add like some Caesar or ranch dressing or something on top. Or I like to just add like a little bit of cheese, like some grated Parmesan or something really good on top. So now let's get to something that could be a side dish or a little appetizer. So we're gonna take the other half of the squash that we cut, and we're just going to make it into wedges. So I'm gonna do it like this because I think that looks like a nicer presentation when I do it. And you're wanting to be, I don't know, about an inch thick or so. The first time I did this with squash, I was doing it with an acorn squash, and I did it in the circles. Oh, with all that ribbing, it's so beautiful. A great presentation if you want to impress someone for like a Thanksgiving meal or something. I'm just gonna use this bowl that I used earlier. Throw the squash slices in there. Just gonna drizzle it with some oil. Again, a little salt, about a teaspoon or so of salt, pepper. Now you could use like some cayenne pepper or chili powder if you like, but just straight up salt and pepper. Nice and simple flavors. And like I said, we're gonna kick it up a little notch in a minute. So I have my oven preheated to 450 degrees. I'm gonna take these little squash slices here, just lay them out on my pan in a single layer, there. And then these are just gonna go into my 400-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes, again, until they just kind of pierce nicely with a fork. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, so our little slices of kabocha squash are almost ready to come out of the oven. So now we're just gonna make a fabulous glaze to put on top. So you don't need to do this. They would be delicious just the way they are. But this is just gonna amp them up that little bit more. Now I'm just doing half a kabocha, so we'll do 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. Yes, the most Canadian thing I can think of to put on my squash. We'll do 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. And then we'll do about 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. Now you could use other flavorings if you prefer. A balsamic glaze would be really good. Like I said before, like a chili powder or some hot peppers. It's always really nice on top. I'm just giving this a little stir together. And I'm just gonna give the squash a little test. Just barely fork tender now, which is fine because we're gonna pop them back in the oven in another minute. So I'm gonna pull them out. You can see they're sizzling away there. They're looking great. So now you can just take this glaze, and just brush it over top. It's gonna be so delicious. Oh, I can't forget, put one to the side because the dog loves squash, but he doesn't need this glaze, that's for sure. Usually I remember to make one completely plain for him, but he's getting a little bit of seasoning tonight. So I'm gonna pop this in just for like 2 minutes, then I'm gonna flip them, brush them with glaze again. 2 more minutes in the oven, beautiful. So now we're just getting that glaze kind of bubbly, sticky, delicious. And like I said, then we'll just flip them over, glaze them again. It'll be great. Squash is great for your dogs, so probably your cats too, but I don't know, I don't have one of those. And boy, my Buster dog loves squash. So he's gonna be super excited to get that with his supper tonight. So you can see when it's ready, when it's cooked, you can just easily put the fork in there. So I think you can see that, just slides right in. So your squash is cooked at that point. And like I said, you can eat the skin and everything on the kabocha squash. It's nice and thin, peels off nicely. If you don't want it, again, you could peel it, but you can definitely eat the skin of the squash. I can smell that stuffed squash cooking in the lower oven. Oh, it is so good. Can't wait. So this would be like a little appetizer for me, and then I can have the stuffed squash when it comes out of the oven in what, like about almost 40 minutes. Oh, I wish you could smell this. Oh, it smells so good. You see how that's bubbling away there with that topping, and now we just need to flip them over without burning ourselves. Come on. And just glaze them up again, just why not? Why not add a bit more of that delicious flavor, right? Now remember, you could just eat them with just the olive oil, salt and pepper, or a little bit of your favorite seasoning and just roast them once, or cube them up. They're great cubed up and roasted that way with like sweet potatoes, parsnips, carrots. Oh, carrots and squash is wonderful together. But this is just a little extra special. Another minute or so in the oven, and then we'll bring them out, let them cool down, and then we can just eat them. Oh, it's gonna be great. Okay, they should be perfect now. Look at that. Look at the color. I know you can't smell them, but oh, they smell delicious. They look beautiful. Try and pop them out onto a plate here. Okay, so these are delicious. They're absolutely amazing. Hoping I can bite it. Oh no, they're way too hot still. So remember, you could make this with the acorn squash too. It'd be a slightly different flavor profile, but still wonderful and delicious. And it'll give you those rings that look so pretty to put on a plate. So if you're having people over for dinner, you might want to do the rings like that with something like an acorn, just a little prettier presentation. But I still think these look gorgeous. The color is lovely, and they would make a great side dish. Like I said, I'm gonna have a few of these for a little appetizer. I'll put a few in the fridge and keep them for tomorrow. But I'm really excited to dig into these and try them. I'm just trying not to grab them and burn myself right now. You don't know what it's taking not to bite into this. Okay, I think it's safe. And I'm just gonna go in with my fingers because I'm the only one here and you guys aren't gonna tell, right? It's still hot, but oh, that is so good. And that skin is so tender. So like I said, if you hate peeling squash, get a kabocha squash. They're so easy to eat that way. The flavor is bang on with this. There's that little bit of sweetness. a little bit of that heat from the ginger. Not a real heat, but it's a great flavor combination. The soy sauce gives it a little umami. You've got to try these. They're so good. I promise you, you won't go wrong doing this. And it's so easy. People think you worked hard on this. You didn't. So when the other squash is out of the oven, I'll try and give you a good look at it before I gobble it down. But it's so good. And like I said, with that other squash, it's really adaptable. You could put whatever you want in there, really. You could put some tomatoes, like quarter some cherry tomatoes. You could put a little bit of corn. And then you could, like I said, you could make a bit of a dressing to go on top if you want, or use some salad dressing. Or like I said, I like to do is just a little bit of cheese on top at the end. So good. I'm gonna go eat a few of these. I'll wait for that to cook. Like I said, I'll show you a look at the cooked product when the other one comes out of the oven. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know below what you like to eat for your squash, with your squash. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Esther, do you want some squash? Back up.